Welcome to this episode of Relationships Turned On. I'm crazy excited for a couple of reasons. One reason is it's Saturday. I've just finished a big day of counseling, a great day of counseling. And tomorrow, my husband and I are completely unplugging. We are going away for 2 nights, kid-free. I know it's been a minute. And so I'm very excited for not just the sleep, pretty excited for the sleep, not just reading books, pretty excited for that too, but also just to have some downtime with him to connect. Life's been busy. We've both been working a lot. And so it's really, really great just to have these deeper days to kind of reset. And when I speak to any couple, most of the time couples actually don't go away on their own. They don't leave behind the responsibilities. I know they have dates and all of that, and that's great. But sometimes when you're in your own 4 walls, it is tough. There's responsibilities, there's chores, there's things that just don't go away and they don't fully leave your mind. Because when you're somewhere different, it's not your responsibilities, nothing you have to worry about. It's a completely different mindset, which allows you to connect on such a deeper level. So I am completely excited. And after recording this episode, I will be going to pack, which is just the best. I really can't wait for this recharge. I mean, I often find we also find really creative, great solutions for maybe family planning, like things we want in our family, things for the kids. We're just able to have so much time and space. And even for our relationship, talk about things we haven't been able to talk about yet or resolve, like dive deeper into conversations that sometimes we've, maybe started and we haven't got to really get to the sort of nuts and bolts of it. It just creates so much time and space. And I've shared this before on the podcast. I find it's when all our best decisions are made as a family. Like we have made decisions when we're away on our own from moving states, about moving jobs, about quitting jobs, about important decisions for our children around schooling and all sorts of things. So giving yourself that time and space is so underrated, so needed, and so important. I think our society is so high, fast paced. It's so full on. We have so much information, so much data coming at us 24/7 that it's just amazing to unplug. And one of the best things I love about where we're going is there's no reception or very, very little. And this also helps us so much. We have no notifications going off. We have no one ringing, interrupting our conversations. We just have complete and utter peace, right? Sounds pretty good, huh? And actually, while we're on this note, I would just let you know there are only 3 spots. I mean, maybe there'll be only 2 spots by the time this airs, but at this moment, there's only 3 spots available for the Couples Counselling Retreat on the 28th of March. And so if you haven't had time out, if you and your partner need some help moving things forward, getting some plans in place, learning some key communication skills, some key conflict management skills, how to reconnect, get the love and the passion back in your life. If you have no sex life, do something about it. If your communication sucks, let's just be real. It's time to pull off the Band-Aid and fix it. Don't let 2025 go away. Like the year is, or it's already February. Like, can you believe it? So let's not let this whole year go without doing something proactive around your relationship. And nothing changes if nothing changes. So you have to do something new to get a different result. So many couples have come to this retreat and said it saved their marriage. It's helped them communicate. It's helped them resolve conflict. It's helped them connect deeper, get their love life back. I mean, that is worth so much. I was just talking to someone the other day on a session and they were like, work might suck, but when we're good, I can handle anything. And it's so true. When your relationship is good, when your relationship is like your safe harbor and your home is like your safe harbor, then everything else can be in chaos, but you can cope with it. It's so important. I mean, and there's so many longevity studies on why relationships are the most important thing for health, longevity, and happiness. Your relationship is your biggest driver of your health, longevity, and happiness. And that should really say something to you. So go below, you can check out the link, read all the details, and book a free call. Let's have a chat around your relationship, what's going on for you, and what's the best next step for you and your partner to get back on the same page, reconnect, stop feeling like roommates, and have an amazing love life. All right, so today's episode. Today we're talking about, is love enough? Couples, when they first come to me, they will be like, yeah, we do really love each other, but I'm just not sure anymore that love is enough. And so I really want to address this question. I think it's a big question a lot of couples ponder or individuals ponder when they do love each other, but they can't seem to stop fighting. They do love each other, but their sex life stopped, or it's not where they want it to be. They do love each other, but all of a sudden we're not prioritizing one another. We're playing second fiddle to work, to life, to kids, to the whole lot of stuff, right? And so many couples ask this question, and they also wonder, is love enough? Can love really be what sustains us? So I want to talk to this. First things first, love can be enough to carry you through tough times to better times. Now, I don't think love is enough in general. Love is not enough in general, okay? People do have needs and wants that need to be met. There is fundamental human needs that must be met, and there's needs within the relationship that need to be met, like the need for safety, the need for freedom, the need for variety, the need for spontaneity. Like there's a whole lot of needs that need to be met individually and as a couple for someone to feel really great about themselves and the relationship. Love can be what carries you through tough conversations. Love is why you can stay and work it out. Love isn't enough on its own. So let me be clear. Often we do need to cultivate skills, cultivate shared understanding, actually sit down with our partner, spend time with them. Love is not enough. If you're not spending time with your partner, if you're not prioritizing them, if you're not showing them affection, if there's no intimacy, if you don't have a shared goals and shared visions, like all of these things actually need to be a part of your relationship. And sometimes when one piece is missing, it can feel okay, but it's like, oh, something's slightly off kilter. So love is not enough. We actually have to do something. And when they say love is an action, it's not just a nice, funny quote. It's true. You have to show your partner love. Saying I love you isn't enough, because sometimes for some people, after a while, they don't even hear that anymore. And so it's like, it's just words you say to me. It has no real meaning. It has no real intent to me anymore because you say it so often. Now, don't get me wrong. It's beautiful to say it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes we say these words and we don't make it meaningful and specific enough to the other person. And so I've had so many couples sit in front of me and they're like, I didn't know he or she felt like that. I didn't know. I tell them every day that I love them. It's like, yes, that's great, but that's not what they need. That's not how they feel love. That's not how they receive love. And so it's very different for every person. And this is why basically you need a relationship blueprint for your relationship, because we are all so different. We're all so unique, and different things land differently for different people. Okay. So I will have one couple that will say, I feel so loved when you tell me how good I look. Or I feel so loved when we spend quality time together. Or it means more to me that you have prioritized the dishes and done them so we can sit down together. That's when I feel loved. Everyone is very different. And so it can be shocking to a lot of people to realize, I thought I was loving my partner. And you often love in the way that you want to receive love, but that doesn't mean that's true for your partner. Now, there are so many nuances to this, and it's very important that you work through this and understand this. And oftentimes, counseling can be one of the best ways to do it, because there's nuances to this. There's specific things for you and your partner that kind of need to be almost like extracted and put in black and white, right? So you can both see and understand how to meet each other's needs and to understand what the other person's top need is. Otherwise, it's like we're speaking two different languages and it's like always missing in translation. The good news is, if you have love in your relationship, that is a solid foundation. Some people will say, I think I love them. They're not experiencing love right there in the moment. So they're like, oh, I don't know. And so a lot of time the connection is there. The love is there. They're just not experiencing it, which is a very important distinction, because once you can experience the connection and re-experience the love again, that's a good place to go, okay, now we can move forward. We can do the next thing to deepen our love and connection. So it's important to know that you can get the love and connection back. It's important to know also to kind of not rest on our laurels. Let's be honest. We can love exercise. We can love the idea of eating right. It doesn't mean we do it. Okay. We can love our partner, but it doesn't mean they feel loved. We can say we love them, but it doesn't mean we actually take action. So it's very important that you actually take action to show your partner how much you love them. It's important to understand how relationships work at a fundamental level. I think one of my biggest pet peeves is it should be education in schools about relationships. Our whole world is built on relationships. Our happiness, health, and longevity depends on it. And yet we don't educate on this. We don't teach the skills, the fundamental skills that every person needs. to move their relationship forward. We don't have the tools in our toolkit when a hard season hits in our relationship to know what to do. And let me tell you, every relationship has hard seasons. And so you need those tools to know how to navigate it together as a team, and also to know how to process emotions and work through it individually. And every season, while great, different, and unique on their own, presents new challenges. I see newlyweds with stresses of weddings and all the things to come, and the finances really, really stress them out and freak them out. And they have rocky times. I see couples with first, second, third, fourth child, and they've lost the connection, or they don't want to be intimate, or they don't know how to communicate, or things have just gone really sideways after having children, and they don't know how to get that love and connection back. I see couples whose kids have left or are about to leave for uni life, move out, whatever it is, and they're like, oh gosh, I've realized we put so much time and energy into the kids, we haven't spent any time on us, on our connection, on what are we even going to talk about? What's this going to look like? Are we going to enjoy time together without the kids? Sometimes the kids were a buffer, and they're just realizing that once they're looking at the next season and going, what is that even going to look like? This is why it's so important, no matter what phase you're in, to cultivate these skills, because it's always needed. And then life throws us curveballs like losing a loved one, physical accidents, losing jobs. Big life changes happen at a blink of an eye, and we never know when we're going to need this. But if your relationship is rock solid, there is love, you have built the skills, you've built the shared understanding, you know how to communicate, how to resolve conflict, you know how to be intimate and stay connected even when life is busy and full on. This is how you maintain it. This is how you have the longevity in your relationship. This is how people have the 20, 30, 40, 50-year relationship. And they prioritize one another. They put one another above almost everything else, pretty much everything else. And so this is what we talk about. It's not just skills, but it's the mindset around the relationship, the belief around the relationships, and how we show up towards one another. So there's a lot that actually goes into creating a beautiful, loving relationship. But the good news is that anyone can do this, but you have to make a decision. You have to do something different than you've been doing. And like I said, go check out the Couples Counselling Retreat. It'll be perfect for you to start making the changes, to also get away from the craziness of life, but to really support and nurture your relationship. I even have couples who actually are going really great. Everything's really great in their life, but sometimes they just haven't had the time and space to sit and talk and debrief and refocus on their life and their relationship and their priorities. And so they come to the retreat to do that. But to be honest, they communicate well, they're connected, all of the things. They just want to nurture their relationship deeper. And also that is the difference between couples that really go the distance and couples that don't, because they take the time to reset. They invest in their relationship. There are two great things you can invest in life. One is yourself and your personal development, and one is your relationship. Both is really an investment of yourself, to be honest, but you get my drift. So important. So go and have a look at the link below for the Couples Counselling Retreat. It's a game changer. It's going to make such a difference to help you move your relationship forward. But I would love to know, what is one thing you took from this episode? What is one thing you're going to do differently because you listened to this episode? I can't wait to hear from you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.